I don't know about you, but there are things I always stumble upon in fiction that just don't make sense. And today, I'm going to rant about the top 5 offenders. Let's get started. Hey guys, Nour here and welcome back to my channel. For those visiting for the first time, hello, I'm the fantasy author of the novel Divinity Falling. Be sure to subscribe for weekly writing advice videos. So there are plenty of cliche stories out there. Some of them are cheesy romantic types, which honestly I'm a sucker for. And then you have cliche thrillers, mysteries, historical romances, and so on. But if I'm being honest, everything is generally a cliche at this point because we're just recycling old stories. Obviously, we could put a twist on cliches to create something fresh, but I won't go into that today. Point being, there are plenty of Twilights and 50 Shades of Greys out there. And because I read a lot, I frequently come across 5 things that don't make sense in fiction. Let me know in the comments if these bother you too. Number 1. When characters forget they have a cell phone during an emergency. They're home alone and someone just broke in. But their phone, which they always have on them, is forgotten. They don't call 911, they don't text someone for help. Instead, they choose to go investigate on their own. Now, some writers remember that their characters have cell phones and they choose to make the battery conveniently die. Sure. That's fine. This one doesn't bother me. At least these characters have an excuse. But what about the rest? Just call 911 for crying out loud. I will give a writer a golden star if their character drops their phone in the toilet just as someone breaks into their house. That would be hilarious and make more sense than forgetting their phone exists. Number 2. When the rich boss forgets his responsibilities when a girl is involved. This is almost every CEO falling in love story. Suddenly, they don't have any responsibilities and they can take their girl on cute dates and plane rides and all that. Oh, and whenever the girl is in trouble, they just show up to rescue her. Business meetings don't exist in this world. I would be happier if I read a more realistic scenario. Maybe the rich boss only sees the girl on the weekends and that causes some problems. Will they be able to make their relationship work? Now that's more interesting. Number 3. When characters refuse to call the cops even though they're innocent. I'm constantly screaming at these characters. Like they did nothing wrong. Maybe they hurt someone out of self-defense. But they're innocent. And if they just call for help and tell the truth, all will be good. But no, they're too scared to tell the truth. Which I get that. Sure, you might look more suspicious. But you know what looks even more suspicious? Not calling the cops for help when you're innocent. Because if the crime is discovered and gets linked back to the character, they're going to look really bad. Which often is the case. It happens in fiction. They get caught. Now, I'm using a cop example, but this applies to any time a character doesn't get help from someone in charge. This could be their parents, teachers, or the HR at the company they work for. All their problems can be easily avoided by telling the truth. Number 4. When characters stay in a haunted house despite everything going wrong. This one really gets me frustrated. I'm sorry, but if a doll so much as starts moving in my house, I'm out. I can be homeless for all I care, but at least I'd be alive. And number 5. When the main character chooses to ignore red flags because their date is cute. Their date will be the rudest person and they just brush it off and keep giving them a second chance. Or the date's ex will show up to warn the main character and they're just like, oh, but they're good to me, so it'll be fine. No, I'm sorry. Fiction or reality, do you not see the red flags? Just dump them and move on. So that's all I have for you today. I'd love to know, what are some things that don't make sense to you in fiction? Let me know in the comments. If you're new to my channel, be sure to subscribe. I put out weekly writing advice videos that will take your story to the next level. Also, don't forget to follow me on social media to see what I'm up to from day to day and to chat with me. And before we go, I just want to give a quick shout out to Sarah Frayne, Alan J. Early, and Noah Kovatsi from my shout outs here over on Patreon, as well as all my amazing patrons. Thank you all so much for your support. I really appreciate you. And remember, Nour for president.